Welcome to the In-Between. What should we call this? The Jelly and Jam episode of Born in Trouble.
Right.
I'm your host, John X. The Jelly and the Jam. It's not quite season 2. It's not quite season 3. Next week is the opening season 3 episode. But, you know, we're so used to being here. My man Grant, Mr. Lancaster. Big round of applause for Mr. Lancaster.
Yes, sir. How you feel?
Very good, very good. Figure we just chop it up anyway and get into just like one or two things. We're going to do sort of like Born in Trouble. Not the whole trouble. Just Born in Trouble. Cut it short. See,
all right.
That's why you're my friend, Grant. You always get my corny jokes. Forever. You get the cord.
I mean, look, I've been dealing with them for how long?
Many years.
Ever.
Many
Since
years.
Ever.
Many years.
Yeah.
It works. It works though. You know, if you can make them laugh, you can make them do pretty much anything, man. You know,
we are who we are.
Exactly.
We are who we are.
Exactly. Yeah, man. So we missed you last week, but there's been so much stuff going on this week. I just want to say something before we take the entire week off. Because so many crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
You go ahead and start, Grant.
Yeah. Well, you know, crazy things bring selective outrage.
Ooh, selective outrage.
So, yeah. That's a beautiful term.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, you know what? Of course, we watched that.
I
watched it today, believe it or not. I was watching it in between work. So I was catching half an hour in a phone call, half an hour phone call. And then I got to the end of it and I was like, oof.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Very nice.
Yeah. Tell me what you thought.
Well, one thing I thought about it was that it's kind of like, it's very reminiscent of what we talk about on this show a lot. Even the selective outrage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, did you catch that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot of the themes in his stand-up were basically themes that we've spoken about in depth, you know, about different topics, about how people are very selective about what they're angry about, and how what usually is what pisses you off is what happens to you. That's kind of where we start.
Right.
But that's not a popular... It's not popular with the, like you say, the 85s. You know, because the 85s don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that they're not special. They want to hear that shit is directly as a result of him. But I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a brilliant piece of work on his part. Probably the best stand-up I've ever seen Chris Rock give in his career, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was good. He was highly entertaining. So I'm gonna tell you what it felt like for me. It felt like he was addressing the Will Smith piece for 50 minutes before he actually addressed the Will Smith piece.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? Like everything was. It seemed like everything he said was kind of related to the Will Smith piece. You know, kind of in a roundabout manner. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for instance, when he was talking about if his dad was a transvestite. So I had read somewhere where when the slap first happened that Chris Rock's brothers was like, yo, and especially Tony Rock, who's the other comedian dude.
Right.
Tony Rock was like, yo, I wish that motherfucker would. We need to go beat his ass kind of shit. Right? So even when he was talking about his dad being a transvestite, I think that was him alluding to when he started talking about his older brother, who's the truck driver or whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was just kind of a, you know, this dude is on my side.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so if you come with some static, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just seemed like everything, you know, it was
sort of like
kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of.
It was sort of like when he said at the end, like, I fucks with Will Smith my entire life. It's like he's even giving him a warning, like, yo, I'll fucks with you, but my brother's a truck driver and he may not fuck with you. So, and that's the way it's supposed to be with siblings and people that actually look for you and actually want to catch your back and everything. And you're right. He broke it down. It was all about family. And it was all about home training. If you really want to break it down, it was really about home training.
Right.
And he kind of questioned Will.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because they do put themselves out there.
Because even the shit about his kids, you know what I'm saying? When he's talking about his kids, I mean, everybody knows Will Smith's kids. I mean, and they're successful. I'm not, knocking them or anything. They're successful in their what they're doing. But Chris was like, look, my daughter's in fucking culinary school in Paris. You know what I'm saying? Like she straight A's, she started out biting motherfuckers, which was funny as hell.
Right.
But now her and my mother, and then that whole story about his mom where she had to go to the vet to get her teeth pulled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now my mom's is having lunch in Paris with my daughter who's in culinary school. You know what I'm saying? So I like I said, I just felt like it was all kind of around, the family, the Will Smith. It just all kind of related back to that final 10 minutes. And that final 10 minutes was fire for me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know he'd been waiting.
Yeah.
I know he'd been waiting.
Big respect.
And he said exactly the thing. Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
He said exactly the things that we've been saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That he took it like a G, which is what we said.
Yeah.
And I still don't think that he thought what happened was what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like when Will Smith is coming up on the stage, he probably thought Will Smith was about to go into some jokey joke shit with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then here he come and he slaps him.
Right.
But I said, man, I thought it was a good special.
He was like basically telling Will, like, yo, you broke the code on many levels. And he was like letting him know that this modern, he kind of like pointed out the differences between the modern families. The thing I like about what he did was that he's not playing, like he's talking about his own weaknesses, his own problems. He didn't say that he had a perfect relationship with his ex. And, his ex started at Howard the same year we started at Howard. She was there. I remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I remember one interaction late at night expressly that was like, it was a hilarious one with the brothers and everything, one of my boys and everything, because we ran into them at a fast food spot, like down in Northwest, but it was like late at night and everything. But I'm not even going to speak upon that. But what I am going to speak upon is that he said that it's really funny though. It's like fucking hilarious. I'll tell you after the show what happened. It was like my man Drew from the Ville, from Amityville. He just lost his mind. One of those stupid. Yeah, you remember Drew? Yeah, it was like one of those stupid, harmless things that happened back in the 80s and the 90s where. Your man is out of pocket, but he's not out of pocket like they would be now. He said what he said and everything. It was extremely stupid. Nobody got touched. Nobody got harmed. And we were equally parts embarrassed and amused simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is what it is.
Right.
It was what it was. But I like the fact that, he mentioned the fact that, listen, I'm divorced from my wife. I got issues with my wife. And if you're a father and you're a parent and you living in separate places from your spouse, we were just talking about before with you. And, of course, we talked about things that happened with me when my son was coming up. And, you have differences of agreements and everything. You don't get up on Red Table on, like, the internet and tell everybody all your business that's going on. I don't care if it's modern, postmodern, way back when, whatever. That's not good parenting. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I'm going to put it out here so that way I can embarrass my kids even more. My kids are already somewhat mortified and everything, but I'm going to put it out there even more so that way they can like experience it and feel it even more. Will Smith is a hell of an actor, but you know, if he's talking about being a dad, and all of us fall short at certain times in those categories as far as being a parent. So this is not to say that I've been a perfect parent and like, or anyone out there has been a perfect parent, but we don't have his platform. And, you know, if we did have his platform, I don't think I would have used it that way. Chris Rock is dead on in a lot of different ways with what he was saying and everything. And, it was like, ouch. That nigga just went, ouch. Just straight gutting him. He gutted him. Yeah. And the last part...
I thought it was good, man.
I mean, the last part about... Like, I've been a proponent on it all the time. I say all the time, like, you know, cats get on me. I've been on social media platforms and disagreements with people, and they've come at me, like, hard. And I won't go back at them as hard, or I go back at them in a different way. Sort of like a teacher, you got to come with the kung fu with the words and everything, and get them to the point so that they understand, like, you're not a joke. I'm not a joke, but at the same time, I'm not going to go at you and, like, you know, entertain these white people. And that's what Chris Rock said.
Right.
You know. Right. The last thing was that we don't fight in front of them, and we didn't.
Right.
That was one thing that my parents always taught me.
You knew not to.
You knew not to, and that's what I always say. Like, you know, we live in this world, and we try to, like, we want to emulate the money that some of these other groups have, without changing our behavior to a certain extent. And part of that behavior is not talking bad about one another. Okay. And the ones that may have the most money in the black community, a lot of times the black conservatives, they spend a lot of their time getting that money by talking about other black people. And that's really where it begins. So it's like, there's no end to this once you start talking about one another. So I try not to say too many bad things, unless it's about, like, you know, Uncle Timmy or something, because it's like, it's too easy. It's comedy.
Right.
You know. He's running for president.
Look, like I said, whatever, man. Like I said, I thought the brother was brilliant. I thought, I'm Chris Rock I'm talking about. I thought Chris had a lot of salient points, man. And, you know, he brought the comedy with it too. You know, I because it was live, you know, I could tell he seemed like he was anxious. Let me not say I could tell, but he seemed like he was a little anxious to get to the Will Smith part. But the way he set it up was to go around it first and then meet and then hit it at the end. So yeah, like I said, I thought it was a good special, man.
So good job.
I was glad he did. I was glad he did something. Yeah, without doubt.
So
I mean, he's a legend, man. He's a legend.
No doubt.
You know, and you know, and you know, it's like Rob said, it's when you get out there and you've been out there for a long time and now he's rich and everything. I mean, this was really like something that probably helped him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This whole scenario was probably something that helped.
Therapy.
Because it gave him some material that people could relate to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, talking about his daughters going to culinary school in Paris ain't necessarily something that people can typically relate to. I mean, other than having children and wanting to see them be successful. But, you know, getting punched in the mouth, yeah, you can relate to that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like something a lot of these cats they don't understand that feeling right now, because, like, you even look at John Morant. John Morant running around, he signed a built multiple hundreds of millions of dollar contract with Nike and everything, and now he wants to start showing off his guns on the internet. It's just like, come on, B. It's like if somebody would have punched John Morant in the mouth at the park when he was a little kid, he would know better. But nobody could punch him because everybody's shooting. So you don't get that comeback. You don't understand what that is. It's like that helps to raise a generation of like, you know, and I'm not saying that he's a punk, but that's punk-like behavior. The whole shit is just ridiculous.
Right. Well, being a clown is like what's in. You know what I'm saying? Like just, and I maybe it ain't being a clown, but just kind of being a spectacle. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Let me hop out here and do some flagrant shit. You know what I'm saying? So that I can get my likes up or get my whatevers. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Chris Rock even talked about that. He said it's attention.
Do shit for love. Now we do shit for likes.
Yeah, he Chris Rock, he even carried that.
Now we do shit for likes.
He even said that too. He was like, yo, it's like everybody, it's like, and then what did we used to say all the time back in the day? If you can't, you know, any type of attention is good attention. Negative attention too is just like a child. You know what I'm saying? So we got all these children. You know, this guy with this comic strip and everything. Didn't nobody know what the fuck this dude, the dude who wrote Dilbert, what he looked like? Nobody cared about his fucking political views. And actually, nobody cared that he lived in an all-white suburb. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, It's like, that's where you would think that the guy who writes Dilbert lives, in an all-white suburb. You know what I'm saying? Dilbert is like, you know, it's just like, it's a vanilla cartoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, we didn't need these revelations from this dude. And it's all based upon, and I know it's partially your fault, Grant, because I know they called you for that survey and they asked you that question. Do you like white people? And I know how you answer.
Right.
You know, and somebody sent me the results of that, and it was I
love white people.
It was like somewhat difficult. It was like you didn't even have to say you didn't like them. It was like one of those most likely, not likely, somewhat, you know, 4 or 5. So they counted like 3s and 4s as also like, you know, and I got on a conversation with this dude who calls himself a liberal who does a radio news show. And he was like, so what do you think about this poll, you know, about white people are in arms because, like, black people don't like them? I'm like, well, who did they poll? 1,000 black people? Are you sure that they were black people? Last that I saw on the polls during the elections, they were saying that polls are less and less reliable. Now all of a sudden this poll is gospel, and 1,000 people speaks for, you know, 12 million, and it's been agreed upon we don't like white people.
Right.
I should call this like little mini episode, I really don't like whitey, because you said so. You know, it doesn't matter what my answer is. It's like, it doesn't matter whether I do or whether I don't. Yeah. Like what? And my whole thing with that thing was like this. I'm like, Grant, I'm like, what is it? Who asked that question? Who walks up to a black guy who says, "Do you like me?"
Listen.
Has anybody ever asked you that?
I don't know. Maybe he was talking about. They asked black people if they liked his comic strip. Maybe he took that and it was like, oh, they don't like white folks because they don't like my comic strip, because it's the whitest comic strip probably in the paper.
I think you have to. I don't think you can have melanin and be able to laugh at that comic strip, because you just won't get it. It's like it's something cultural about the melanin that and Dilbert that you just don't get it. You know, dude was
just don't get it.
Dude was seriously making a case that all black people hate white people. We all hate white people, because they did a poll on the telephone, and everyone know what that is, bro? That's them amping up. They're amping up for the next run. These people are starting to get more like angry again. Come out, there's more confrontations out there. Next insurrection.
Yeah, we got to take the country back.
Yeah.
From who? Us.
Yeah, from us. Exactly. Watching.
Yeah, they got to take the country back from themselves.
I swear, I love watching this show, but that's another thing that we've also said, that I specifically, I know I said that on the show, that we're actually watching an insurrection. Gene has definitely said it. They're white people going to take over their own government. There are no black people. What do you think? There's if you go 2 levels underneath the Congress, there's a whole bunch of black people underneath there with puppet strings, pulling everybody's strings, being served sandwiches by white women in bikinis. Is that what they really believe is going on in the United States of America? It's just weird.
Yeah, look, who knows, man? People are just amped up and ready to. Everybody's just wound up tight. This whole coronavirus shit got people so out of sorts, man. You can't. I mean, what people say, what people do. At this point, man, I'm just chalking shit up to coronavirus. That whole, 2 years of isolation that people had. The effects of that are yet to be seen, or yet to be determined what the actual effects of that shit are going to be. People were fucked up, man. And I think they're going to be fucked up, and we're going to continue to do outrageous shit because, it's kind of just the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I done lost my social graces. Because for 2 years, I was just by myself.
Yeah.
So how to relate to people, how to talk to people, you know what I'm saying? How to interact with people, solving conflict, all these things that were once ingrained in us. We had a 2-year period where people weren't doing any of that shit. Yeah. So now everything is just amplified to the third power.
Motherfuckers done lost their minds.
You about to see a lot more crazy shit to me.
They haven't lost their minds.
So the way I look at it, you about to see a lot more crazy shit.
This thing in Atlanta with these people running up and trying to blow up that camp where police officers were going, basically a police academy in Atlanta, and it's all these people from all across the country. It's not just it's not local people. It's people from all across the country who have this ideology against what they were doing over there down in Atlanta that have now been arrested. What I thought was funny is that they slapped them with federal charges right away for basically insurrection. They basically slapped them with...
really? Okay. Yeah,
they slapped them with federal charges. But, domestic terrorism.
In the bud.
Right. Domestic terrorism.
Yeah, we got to nip this shit in the bud.
But they didn't do that at the Capitol, though. They didn't do it at the Capitol. They did it at Atlanta. So that's what I found interesting. They didn't waste any time. They're like, y'all motherfuckers? Domestic terrorism.
Right.
These people in the insurrection.
Well, that's the second punch, though.
What's that?
You know what I'm saying? You know how they say in the NBA, it's the second punch that always gets caught. Oh. And that's what this is. This was the second punch. The insurrection was the first punch.
Well, I think that they really believe that first punch is the type of punishment they're going to get across the board no matter what. Because they're amping up. They're really amping up the rhetoric. To me, when I heard that Dilbert thing and I saw the people in the comments that were commenting on it, I just saw a whole bunch of people that want black people to hate them. So that way they can feel justified in going out and doing what they already want to do. And that, a couple of things crossed my mind with that. One thing was that gun control. I'm not for open carry. I'm not for open carry because most people can't open carry responsibly. And I saw that on a couple of videos today and everything. But after seeing the results of what had happened, I'm thinking at the same time, don't go putting your guns away. Just because I'm not for open carry doesn't mean I'm for slaughter of the lambs. So, I don't suggest that any of you brothers and sisters, or and brothers and sisters is a wide term for me. If you in the clip, you know what I'm saying, don't put them down. You know what I'm saying, load them up and keep them on the ready.
Yeah, I just bought a new one, so
yeah, it's crazy because this is the way that they're amping this stuff up to. Black people don't even. Man. This guy I was doing the radio thing with. I jumped in on his show. He cut me off because I was like, bro, how arrogant do you have to be to really ask that question of a black person? Do you really like white people? And why do you need to be liked? Why do you need that answer from a group of people? Why do you need people to answer? What's the point of that answer? You're going to go to Italian. If you ask Italian people, do you like black people? And it came up with the same result. Would you be as shocked?
Right.
Greek people, or just like people who identify as white? That's the selective outrage part of it. That's the selective outrage part of it.
Well, the thing is, so it's along the lines of getting rid of critical race theory. Right? So you're getting rid of the critical race piece because it's hurting people's feelings. Right? So now, once we kind of decide that we're done with critical race, now you just gotta like us. You know what I'm saying? There should be no reason for you to not like us. And I'm saying us.
And you're gonna be quizzed.
There should be no reason for you to not like white people as a whole.
And we're gonna quiz you on it.
That's the thought, right? Why do it matter? Why do it matter if black people don't like white people or white people don't like black people? Why do it matter? You can be white and never have to deal with a black person if you don't want to.
That's the truth.
Black people don't have that luxury.
That's the truth. And what are you going to do with your black friends, your black conservative friends, the ones who also root for Trump with you? And also there's a whole bunch of black people that are black and everything, and they love white people. Yeah. So what are you going to do with them? And you know that they love black people. You know they love black people because you don't have them in your homes, but you let them clean your yards. Things of that nature. You let them close to your homes, if not inside. You agree on the same things over Vienna sausages and shit. Right. But you don't invite them over for dinner.
Right.
Or maybe one of them, maybe one at a time, as long as they're cleared by whatever association you have to clear them by. It's just so asinine. It's it's like I'm going to do a poll tomorrow. I'm going to call people up and say, do you like Hispanics? And when people say no, I'm going to be like, okay, does that mean you're giving up frijoles? Are you not going to eat tacos now? If it comes down to me, if it comes down to me giving up my rice and beans and roast con pollo and everything, then I'm going to love those Hispanic people forever. I don't even care that Puerto Ricans make it. I like the rest of you too, just because I like it.
Hey, look, you got to get it where you can get it, bro.
Got to get it where you can get it.
Got to get it where you can get it.
And bro, if that wasn't offensive enough, we're going to shut it down. It's only been 30 minutes. If that wasn't offensive enough for you in 30 minutes, if that doesn't give you something to get some selective outrage against, I don't know what to do for you. I can't help you this week. One in trouble, in between episode, the peanut butter and jelly episode, or the I'm not sure if we are supposed to like white people or not, or if we do. Don't poll me on it and everything. I don't know.
Right.
Who's to say that these people that they poll were even black people? You call them somebody. They ask you, What are you? I'm black.
Right.
You know, it's like, are you kidding me? Dude.
Right.
Dude, like, who cares? Listen, we just need to focus on things that we all like. Basketball, baseball, apple pie, and dirty, dirty porn. America.
The dirtier, the better.
America. Grant Lancaster, thank you for joining me. Grant, the owner of City Wings.
Yes, sir. 2896 West Grand Boulevard, Detroit, Michigan. Come down and get you some.
Come down and get you some. Visit Motown on your way up the block and then walk down to the Chicken Shack and get you some chicken wings. They're Amish wings.
Yes, sir.
They're Amish wings.
Absolutely.
Because...
So we love white people.
Exactly. We're not racist when it comes to like...
Because the Amish are white.
That's right. They don't get any whiter than the Amish in the wintertime.
No, sir.
And they don't make better wings either. But, hey, listen. Born in Trouble, In Between. Thanks for being with us. Peace.